Hi, it's Charlie giving you Monday's market commentary. I hope you're very well. Just a couple of bits of housekeeping before I go into quite a lot of markets I want to have a look at here for where I'm looking to trade this week. But before I do that, it's just a couple of bits of housekeepings. Firstly, Sam's asked me to mention, because she's been getting inquiries from beginners about trading, learning to trade, and she said, can you mention that we do obviously have a beginner's course on our site. So if you went to education and then went down to getting started, then that's what this page is, and it's a beginner's course basically that we have on CD for beginners. So if anyone's out there also like these other inquiries that she's had in from beginners, then we can cater for you. And so there you go, Sam. I've done that for you. Secondly, excuse me, the London Investor Show. Kim and I are down there on Friday, and so if you want to come along and say hi, then if you go to oh, I don't know. Oh, this is the page I've brought up, so you can register. Let's have a look. Home. There you go, londoninvestorshow.com. If I actually bring it down so you can see it, there you go, londoninvestorshow.com. So if you want to come down and say hi, I think the tickets are free. I'm sure they are. And so there's lots of speakers there on that day, and presentations, and I'm presenting, and plenty of other presentations as well. Kim and I are there on the stand, and so it's a good place to go and mingle. So hopefully we'll see some of you down there. Okay, so let's go into this. Now I wanted to start off with the stock market indices before I go into the currencies this week, because obviously we've broken out some new highs last week on the S&P here, and so you sort of say, okay, well where are we going to? And I've been talking for a long time about the S&P going up and making that next new high, so to speak, the next high for the S&P, which may be up around about 1800 or so, maybe even a bit higher than that. But one market is really starting to stand out, and what we're seeing here, we've got the S&P is breaking new highs, the Russell's broken new highs. The only one that hasn't is the Dow. The Dow hasn't broken to new highs yet, but it's a smaller market, or smaller index anyway, because it's only composed obviously of 30 stocks, so it's not a broader index like some of these others. So if we go back to like the Russell new highs, that's Russell 2000, S&P 500 stocks in it, and then we've got the Nasdaq, it's got 100 stocks in it, and the Nasdaq's gapped up some new highs for this move, should I say anyway. And the Nasdaq's where I want to focus, because if we come out to a monthly chart and then scroll out a little bit, then we have to remind ourselves of where those all-time highs were back in 99, 2000 for the Nasdaq. And I do think that we're on target for that now, and I think this Nasdaq is going to break some new highs, new all-time highs. I don't know how long it's going to take, but we do look like we're in this sort of exponential curve right now, and whether we're going to be able to do it quickly, and when I say quickly I'm talking about within the next year, or whether it may take a little bit longer, but the Nasdaq does look like, it's on target. It's going for it. Whether it pulls back first and then it'll come back up for it, but these highs are, it's going for them, guys. So it doesn't matter if you're a bear on the market or whatever it may be, whatever your view may be. This Nasdaq is heading for these all-time highs, and so it's just a case of whether it pulls back in between. But certainly, if you're a long-term player, then hold out on. If you're on any ETF long positions or whatever on the Nasdaq, then just hold out, because this market is still got more juice in it yet, and it will get up to those highs. Okay, so that's what I wanted to cover off there, because that Nasdaq is an important one over the next year or so. Let's now go to the daily charts of some of the currencies, and where am I going to be looking to trade this week? So let's start off with well, both of the, if I can find them, looking on my watch list off screen here. There it is. We'll start off with the euro dollar. So obviously we had the nice poke up end of last week. Yes, managed to get long on that and all of that, like you know. So I was long into Friday's update, wasn't I? Yeah, that's right. And so okay, so we're here. So what do we do now? So I think one or two scenarios are going to happen. One scenario is we pull back a bit on this euro dollar, and then hopefully then turn and break higher, or we're just going to hold here in a holding pattern and going to go higher. Now 76% of traders are short euro dollar at the moment, and so that's retail traders, sorry. So are they right? And now we have to break it down when we're looking at how many traders are short, because they're all going to be short from different levels. Some will be short from, well, some were short, quite a few were short from before this big move last week, but then there will be more that have added to positions or have entered the market as with fresh shorts today even. And so some of those shorts may well be profitable because they may have just got in, and if we do a shallow retrace or any sort of retrace from here, they'll be fine. But the shorts from last week, they're still well underwater, and so they're going to be carrying a lot of pain. So it's going to be a case of whether they just bail out if price comes down a little bit and just take the loss, or whether the price does roll right the way over and they actually ultimately become successful. So what I would suggest is that what normally happens when you're underwater, you actually don't hold for it all to come all the way back down and be successful. Most traders will actually bail out before they even get back to break even, so they'll lose anyway. But even if it does come down. But what I'm looking for is if we get a bit of a pullback, then I'll be looking to get long. If we hold in this holding pattern, I'll be looking to get long. So I want to be long euro dollar. We've talked about this many times before. If I go back out to that monthly chart, I'm looking for this euro dollar to come up to that monthly trend line. Now, it doesn't mean to say it has to do it in this candle. Now, remember, this is a monthly candle, and we are now on the 21st of October. But maybe it'll happen to the next month's candle, or maybe the month after. But I have to, until proven otherwise, I have to stay on the long side of this market, because don't get me wrong, intraday there can be shorting opportunities, but generally speaking, I need to be on the long side of this market. So that's what I'm looking for this week. I'm looking for long side opportunities, either whether it's a pullback or if it just then starts to scoop up, then I'll be using the momentum just to hook in on that, using the momentum. It's the same sort of thing with the pound dollar. Pound dollar is quite interesting. If we come out to, we can probably come out to a weekly chart. Again, pound's not doing anything today either, just consolidating. But if we come out to a weekly chart on the pound dollar, and then if I just scroll out a little bit, a lot of you long-term viewers of the video updates will see when I see these sort of patterns, you know that usually it means we're going to get a breakout. So when we've had attacks on similar levels, I could even use this one, but we've got these highs here, this high here, this high here. We've come up again, we've reacted down a little bit here with these couple of weeks of down. We've come back up again. I think ultimately this pound is looking to break out, so I want to be looking for opportunities to get long on the pound as well, if I can, because this pound has got this 165 level as another target, so it's got another couple of hundred pips or so potential in it. So all in at the moment, and even if I'm wrong to start off with and the pound comes down a bit, I'm still going to be looking for it to hook back around again and come up again. So at the moment, for the foreseeable future, I'm looking at long side trades. There will be times when I obviously want to be short, but at the moment it does look, certainly right now, it looks like I want to be on the long side. If we pull back on the daily charts, then I'm still going to then ultimately at some point be looking to get into swing longs on those markets. Right, I shall leave that with you. Plenty of food for thought this week, and not here on Friday, obviously because I'm down at the London Investor Show, so no live trading on Friday. Back to normal next week.